Hello. In this lesson, I'm going to test you on your ability to listen and write down English names. This is a very important part of IELTS Listening Section 1. In Section 1, you often need to listen for personal information, such as names, addresses, telephone numbers, and things like that. And of course, you can improve and make sure that you get a good score in listening 1 if you practice. So I'm going to test you on English names. As you can see, I'm going to give you 5 names. So you need pen and paper and make sure you've written down 5 numbers. Are you ready? Well, let's start your test. I'm going to give you an English name. I want you to listen and write it down. I will only say the name once. That's the same as your IELTS listening test. Are you ready? Number 1, John Smith. Number 2, Simon Bramling. The surname is Bramling. Number 3, Mr. Sean Fergus. The first name is spelt S-E-A-N and the family name is spelt F-E-R-G-U-S. Number 4, J.K. Rowling. The last name is spelt R-O-W-L-I-N-G. And the last one, number 5, Mrs. Hilary Mitchell. Her first name is H-I-L-A-R-Y and the last name is M-I-T-C-H-E-L. Right, that's all the 5 names. Let's have a look at the answers. The answer for number 1, that was John Smith. I hope you remembered the capital letters. You needed capital J, capital S. If you don't have a capital letter at the beginning of the name, it's wrong. So be careful with that. Number 2, Simon Bramling. That's B-R-A-M-B-L-I-N-G. Number 3, Mr. Sean Fergus. Did you remember the title, Mr.? If you forgot the title, it's wrong. Number 4, J.K. Rowling. That was quite difficult, wasn't it? Because they are initials, not full names. And the last one, Mrs. Hilary Mitchell. There we are. That is all 5. Now, there were some difficult ones and a few traps that I put in for you. And of course, that is what will happen in your IELTS listening test. Let me give you a list of tips to help you for when you listen for names. So, some tips to help you for your IELTS listening test when you have to listen for names. So the first one, very important of course, are the capital letters. A name always starts with a capital letter. Don't forget it. Don't lose a point because you forgot the capital letter. The next one, spelling. Of course, if it's a long name, it will be spelt. and you need to practice your spelling to make sure that you get that name correct. So make sure you practice spelling at home. The next one, common names. In the test I gave you, did you notice that some names I spelt and some names I didn't? For example, Simon Bramling. I spelt the name Bramling, but I didn't spell Simon. Why? Well, the reason is Simon is a common name. IELTS expect you to know the spelling of common English names. That means you need to learn them and practice them. So if it's a common name, IELTS probably won't spell it. If it is a longer name, more unusual, they will spell it. So make sure you learn your common names. Not all names will be spelt. The next one, I think that was quite tricky. That was the initials. So J.K. Rowling. Sometimes IELTS might trick you and give you initials instead of names. Please be ready for that. By the way, did you get that one correct? I hope so, because that is the writer of Harry Potter. Right, and the last one, titles. Titles are, for example, Mr., Mrs., Miss, and the last one, Ms. If you are given a title in the test, then please write it down. If you forget the title, it's wrong. So if there's a title, write it down. If there isn't a title, don't worry about it. They are the common titles, Mr., Mrs., Miss, Ms. It's also possible to get Doctor, which is Dr, or Sir and Lady. Not very common, but it is possible to get that. Right, well, that was some practice and some tips for you for listening for names. How many did you get right, by the way? If you didn't get all of them right, please don't worry. This is not your IELTS listening test. This is just a practice. And it's better to make your mistakes now and improve before your test. Now, if you found this exercise useful, please let me know. And if you would like more practice with names, let me know and I will organise a few more video lessons for you. Well, that's all for this lesson. I will see you again in another IELTS lesson.